Gundam.tk presents Real Grade Sky Grasper and Launcher Sword Pack. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs from GundamReviews.net, and you can see the Real Grade Strike Gundam there. That's part of the Ale Strike pack, which is of course going to give you its most famous backpack, but you've already seen from the previous part the Sky Grasper, which is going to be the support vehicle which can drop off whichever thing he needs to deal with any situation. So let's see how those fit on and how they fit on him. But first I want to show you a feature that I think is pretty cool. It wasn't on the box tour, but when you see it in the manual, at first I thought, well, this is a waste of time, but now it's come to grow on me. You're going to be getting these three pieces, which are again cheap like most of the backpack attachments, but if you have a regular action base, you can take this and just put it on the top. Take the sword pack and then plug it into the back. You've got this part here, which is going to take this part from the forearm, and then you've got this part with that fake little shoulder providing all the impetus that you need. That's not the right word at all, but you get the idea. That you can plug that in, put the boomerang on there, and then you can display it on a regular action base too, and I think it's an actual real bonus that you can have the strike. Here you could have them with the ale pack on or something like this and have the other one off on display because this isn't needed for the backpack. It is unfortunate that for those of us that have a bunch of action bases kicking around, I don't have any at the moment sadly, but anyway, you can have this. If they gave you two of these, it would have only been an extra 3 pieces of plastic, but you could have the launcher and the strike beside the ale strike gun, or the launcher and the sword next to the ale strike, and I think that would have been a fantastic display possibility. So yes, having an extra would stop you from having to do this, where you're going to have to take this part one apart, swap the shoulder one into the other side here, and then you can imagine, I guess if they also just gave you two of these, that you could get closer to doing it. Get ready to reach into your Ziploc full of extra little parts, there's a million of them, and you take this one, and with this part swapped out, you can see that there's those little pegs on the top, so that's going to fit in nicely. Before, all you have to do is line this up and plug this into the back. So you can recreate the hanger even better with this launcher striker pack sitting off over to the side. This one only has 2 pieces, so it's not going to be as noticeable as the sword one. Again, with the action base, it's going to look a lot better, but again, I'm going to lament that lack of 3 pieces because you could have them both standing here, or even a third one, but I suppose you can fix that by just spending 2,500 yen over and over and over again. To get the parts onto the Sky Grasper, you can see where the backpack is going to attach. You just have to line everything up, and it's really cool. This thing that I didn't really think about why it opens, it now makes complete sense as you seal it up around it. A little bit of cheating is required to get this part onto the other shoulder, where you take this, you pop off the sides, plug this in, you're going to get a nice snap, and then what you can do is just reattach everything around the shoulders. So you've really got 2 shoulders on the strike and the one on the case. They just seem to be recreated everywhere. To get the forearm launcher on, it's going to be a little bit trickier though, because you're going to have to pop that out, which doesn't want to come off. Use yet another attachment part, and if you make it out there, don't shave these parts off when you're doing your sanding or whatever at the beginning, because that's going to provide the attachment point here. And when it's all together, all of a sudden this is something that I think could look pretty cool next to the Strike Gundam with a different striker pack on, because the Sky Grasper is going to look great there. The weapons, the way the backpack fits on is incredibly intuitive. It's very, very easy to do. I sort of think it's cool that you're going to have this one on this side as opposed to the green one on the other side. I suppose that you could go add that on, and if you did want to use this to its full display capabilities, you could have the strike with, let's say, the ale pack on, and then you could have this one sitting up on another action base, and this one sitting on the Sky Grasper, and you can actually have all 3 on display for only 5,000 yen. Well, plus the cost of an action base too. For the launcher grasper, you can pop up the Strike's trademark shoulders there, and again you're going to take this magic little black attachment piece that goes on everywhere, and if you plug that down into place and seal this back up, the shoulder launcher then fits on with no problem whatsoever, and if you take this one, you just have to have the gun down and you can put it into its locked position, and then plug it in here. Hopefully it's not going to get in the way with that shoulder part. And I thought the Sword Striker pack looked fantastic, but this one's looking just as good because the green is going to fit on there. This one is also a very solid fit because this thing, you'd think that it might be flopping around, but instead, because it does have that lock mechanism in at the front, it's going to be no problem whatsoever. These panels here that are a little bit floppy, they're going to stay in place, especially when you pinch them together, and you can still see all the color apps with the red, the yellow, the black, including inside the green of the gun. So yet another way to display it, and it does really make me want to have 2 Sky Graspers the more I see these variations. So what I've showed you up to now, you can just do by just spending the 2,500 on the Sky Grasper, but I'd imagine almost everybody who does that is going to have the RG Strike. And if you do, you can put the ale pack on as well, and you start by doing that by opening up this part here, stretching this part out, and then you're going to be getting two attachment points, one for the shield and one for the beam rifle here. These are going to plug into the side, and then this just closes down on top of it. Well, somewhat closes. And you don't want to put the beam rifle and the shield on first, instead you want to do that with the pack, which is going to slide on very nicely, and then you'll just bend these up out of the way as much as possible. The beam rifle has a nice slide in there to get it attached, and once you've detached this attachment point, you can take the shield and plug it into the side. And that, I think, is the Sky Grasper we all know and love, carrying out the ale pack whenever Kiro is in danger, or whoever happened to be piloting it at the time. And this is just great, because here you're going to be getting all of the famous Gundam colors together. I'm talking about the white and the yellow and the blue on the main body, and then you're going to be getting the rest of the red from the ale pack. The beam rifle sort of gets lost over there, but it makes sense that it's facing forward so that you could shoot. I suppose you could even apply this and shoot the wire out from when it's under with the striker pack or with the sword striker pack on. But it has to be the shield on the other side that really makes this. It brings all the RX-78-2 and its yellow and red shield to life, just with a very nice 2000s feel, and you can imagine why this was so successful in bringing Seed and Gundam's popularity back. So I'm going to wrap this part up here, but again, this is something that I really didn't expect, that I'd be enjoying all of these different Sky Grasper variants as much as I expected. The only thing that I really expected to enjoy was putting the striker packs onto the Strike Gundam, but instead, because you do have the ability to take an action base or a proper one there, and they are going to give you the attachment, and then you can put one on display there, have one on the back of the Sky Grasper, and of course, put one of them on the back. I think this is just a fantastic way to show off all three of its wearers, if you want to put it that way, and the Sky Grasper itself. So certainly cool, and I wonder if this is going to give it the edge in my books compared to the Master Grade, where I suppose for the price of 2 Master Grades, well, you're getting 3 packs and 2 Gundams, but no Sky Grasper. And unlike the Perfect Grade, where we still don't have the other 2 packs, I think this one for 25 plus 2,500 yen is just a fantastic combination. Anyway, everybody, stay tuned for the last part where you'll get to see this guy in a million different poses with a million different packs, and by a million I mean 3. So why don't you let me know what you think with a comment down below, and as always, everybody, thanks for watching. See you next time.